to the Book Chronicles. We're back.
Hi.
We thought we'd take you on a little ride today. A little journey with us. I got some library hauls to show you and a coffee talk. See you in a few.
A place to stay. Get your booty on the floor tonight. Make my day. Make my day. Pump up the jam. Pump it up while your feet are stumping. And the jam is pumping. Look ahead, the crowd are jumping. Pump it up a little more. Get the party going on the dance floor.
Shadow and Bone.
I leave my new go.
Get into the Graciaverse.
Hi, my name is Shannon and welcome to the Book Chronicles and this edition of Coffee Talk, where I would like to talk about Somebody Love, The Life and Death and Legacy of Freddie Mercury by Matt Richards and Mark Langthorne. Let me tell you, this book was a roller coaster ride. I really enjoyed it. It had me laughing, crying. It even had me getting angry at times. It had me frustrated. This is about the life of Freddie Mercury. It does go into the AIDS epidemic, how AIDS started, how it was brought into the U.S. It's a very sad story, but it also highlights his triumphs, his highs, his lows. And if you read this book, try to go in with an open mind. Please don't judge Freddie by the way he lived his life. He just loved everybody. And even though he was quite promiscuous, it is easy to judge him, but nobody really had any knowledge of the AIDS epidemic, and it's just sad. And toward the end, he did really try to turn it around, his ways, and he was very successful, very musically talented. Now goes into his what they call his magnus opus, which is Bohemian Rhapsody. This book was quite a ride, quite an adventure to read. I really enjoyed it. At times I did want to go into the book and just grab Freddie and say, "Hey, don't," you know. It goes into his deep love for Mary Austin and his struggles with his identity. His sexual identity. He was bisexual, and most like to say that he was emotionally drawn to females and physically drawn to males, because he had that emotional bond with Mary Austin, yet a great physical attraction to a lot of men. He didn't realize the dangers. He was a talented musician, a talented guy. I am so thankful I read this, and I'm glad that I finished it, because it did enlighten me on a lot of things. It was such a tragic end to a great life. You know, a lot of the symptoms he experienced, toward the end, he was blind. He actually lost one of his feet because there was a wound on his foot that wouldn't heal, of course, because his immune system was compromised. It goes into his relationships with a lot of his managers. It goes through the struggles the band had. Believe it or not, they did fight, but that's what made them strong, because they all stuck together. They didn't want to give up on each other, and they all came together. And that's rare when you see such talents. Everyone in the band of Queen was so talented, come together. I definitely recommend, if you want to get into a good memoir or biography, definitely read this. I know there's many out there. There's also one that was written by Tim Hutton called Mercury and Me before he died. So I might try to get that one, and it'd be interesting to see Tim Hutton's perspective on everything that happened. I just love Freddie Mercury so much. He's one of my favorite singers, and after I finished this, Melanie got me the Queen CD, the greatest hits, and I just been jamming to it ever since. I would definitely recommend, keep an open mind. Try not to judge Mercury by a lot of the decisions he made, because we were all young, and during this time no one really knew of the AIDS epidemic. Once it started coming out, there was a lot of controversy on if it was a gay disease. One of his first symptoms that spiked him to go to the doctor was he noticed a place on his shoulder, which was later diagnosed as Kaposi's sarcoma, which is a a rare cancer brought on by HIV, advanced HIV, basically. He had it for a good 7 to 8 years before it really started taking a toll on him. He did keep a lot of his personal life secret. He was a very private person, but with good reason, though. So sad how the press just went at him when they found out. Basically, he didn't release his statement that he had it until he died 24 hours later. You got to give it to him. He did manage to keep it, and I think that's within his right. He had to have some form of privacy. They would have him alive, basically, and it's just sad that he had to do that. But in the end, it's really a good read. I'm hoping Mel reads it soon, because ever since I finished, I've been like, Mel, you've got to read this. So hopefully she'll get into this soon and go on this ride and adventure. I just wanted to do a little book talk on this book. Please pick it up and read it. You won't regret it, and please go into it with an open mind.
Did try a chapter for Karen Thomas's book, The Cheerleaders. It's about this young girl, Monique, whose sister died. Not only does her sister die, but her sister's friends that are on the cheerleading squad died. And there's controversy surrounding how they died. And she goes into this story trying to figure out how they died. People think that her sister died via suicide. Her sister Monique thinks differently, that she didn't die via suicide. So I did finish the book, the tri-chapter book that I rented from the library. And I also borrowed from the library Red Rain by R.L. Stine. So I haven't read this book yet. I will see what it's about. I also picked up from the library to read From Twinkle with Love. So I'm going to see if I enjoy these books or not and what I think. And I did enjoy Cheerleaders. The one thing about the Kara Thomas book, Cheerleaders, is it does deal with pedophilia, and I didn't like that. There are some triggers for suicidal ideations and abuse. So go into the book with a caution. I didn't like how things were represented with Monique, and you'll find this out at the very beginning. She's actually in love with an older guy that is, and I mean, I've dated younger people that were 10 years younger than me. Age is not a problem. It's the fact that she was underage and this guy was a teacher that I kind of have an issue with. So, I'm not trying to judge or anything, but to me, that's on the line of pedophilia. So, I didn't like that part of the book. But otherwise, I thought the book was very good, and I did enjoy the read. So if you get a chance to read The Cheerleaders, I think it would be a good read. So we'll catch you on the flip side. I got a Toffee Knot Mocha from Starbucks. So I'm drinking.
I already drank mine, sorry. I'm petting the cat right now.
So we'll catch you on the flip side. Bye. So we did try a chapter challenge, and the funny thing was, I actually was going to try a chapter of From Twinkle with Love for my library try a chapter challenge. I'm still going to try Red Rain, but our dear friend Megan sent us some books in the mail, and she sent a copy of From Twinkle with Love. So that was so sweet of her, because I tried to chapter this book, and I was going to see about picking this book up, because I actually did enjoy the book. Thank you so much, Megan, for giving us this book. And she's how far along in Shadow and Bone from the Geisha trilogy?
Not that much left.
That's not too bad, is it? Uh-huh. And Megan also sent us Jodi Picoult's Sing You Home, which I'm excited about reading this book. Megan was excited for us to dive into this book. So we're going to check this book out and read it because it is very special to us because a friend of ours gave it to us. So that means a lot.
Oh, it has a CD in it.
It all has a CD. Oh my gosh. Nice. So we're going to read these books. I'm going to try a chapter on the R.L. Stein today.
I'm reading The Wicked Prince. I'm Buddy reading that.
The Wicked King?
Or The Wicked King. With Megan.
Because I know you finished The Cruel Prince. You finished it earlier. So you're ready to read The Wicked King. And you're in the Geisha verse right now. So I'm going to do that. And we're still kind of waking up. I don't know what we'll do today, but that's what we're doing so far. But that's our Try Chapter Library haul. And thank you, Megan, for the awesome books.
Thank you, Megan.
So how have you been enjoying your reading today?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
I'm just hungry.
You're just hungry.
Angry.
Angry. Hashtag angry. I know. So I am still going through Red Rain by R.L. Stein. And it's kind of like a Goosebumps with an adult twist. So it's not too bad. I like R.L. Stein, so I'm really enjoying that. We're back at McAllister's, enjoying a nice lunch out.
Pump it up, yo, pump it, pump up the jam, pump it up, I pump it up, yo, pump up the jam, pump it, yeah.
So we got Berry Berry Hibiscus Refresher and a Triple Mocha Frappuccino and a water, of course, with my book. I'm gonna read it some more, and we're gonna go ahead and close out the vlog. We just want to thank everybody for your kind words, support, and prayers for Shannon's healing and from getting back from the hospital. She's doing so much better. All the text messages, DMs, private messages from Facebook and Twitter, we really appreciate all that. My shirt says loved, so we really feel loved, and we want to thank you all for making us feel loved, and with all the kind words, thoughts, and prayers for Shannon when she was in the hospital, and the surgery, and then her pneumonia stay in the hospital and all that, and we're just very grateful for all that. But we want to go ahead and close our vlog off. Until next time, I'm Melanie.
I'm Shannon.
And we wish you
Peace, love, books, and coffee.
peace, love, books, and coffee, and many blessings. Bye.